Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Omega Speedmaster Professional Apollo 11 40th Anniversary Limited Edition. This is one of 7,969 pieces in stainless steel. If you like it, you can see it and buy it on our website, watchyouwant.com. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of this video at any time to see our full listing for this watch with photos, accessories included, and of course, full pricing information. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that the 40th anniversary adopts the classic 42mm stainless steel asymmetrical case of the traditional Speedmaster Professional. All of the innovations are on the case back and within the dial itself. So the fit of this modern version on what's known as the 1958 bracelet with 957 end pieces is classic Speedy Pro, which is to say it's approximately 42 millimeters in span across the broad of the case, but being rather cushion shaped, it actually has a little bit more wrist real estate than the 42 suggests. It wears as a large 42. Now, it's 14 millimeters thick. It does feature the traditional domed plexiglass, the acrylic as seen on every Speedmaster Professional since the original, and it does maintain the authenticity of that off-angle distortion that watch collectors love on plexis. Now, it does have a little bit of a cantilevered bezel, so you can see that due to the tachymetric scales outcropping, it's not the easiest watch to wear with a really short sleeve or tight cuff, but nevertheless, it has a minimal profile, so you shouldn't have any trouble with a blazer or sport jacket sleeve. Now, the watch is approximately 48 millimeters as measured lug to lug, but that's not necessarily the true span. Because of the solid end pieces of this modern bracelet, it actually has a span of 54 millimeters from the outcropping of the rigid horn, seen here, to the corresponding piece on the opposite side, which is to say the watch does wear large, and it begins to approach the span even of something like an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore 42 millimeter. But everything on this late model 2009 40th anniversary edition is built very substantial, far more so than any of the NASA astronauts back in the day of the Apollo program would have enjoyed. The bracelet, a 3-link design, is beautifully finished with alternately brushed and polished facets. It has a dazzling effect with the muted satin finish of the brushed portions contrasting nicely with the polished portions on the flanks and the intermediate segments. It also has a wonderfully substantial, milled out, single fold twin trigger deployant clasp. Now you can see that the deployant clasp looks a lot like that used for many years on the Seamaster 300 meter line, and it has that kind of solidity to it with the security of twin trigger deployant action, so you know you have to press both of the triggers to get positive release, and when you close it, you also get positive snick and snap to know that it's closed. Very substantial, very impressive. Now, the watch, for all intents and purposes, is mechanically and structurally exactly what the Moonwatch has always been. It's within the dial that we begin to see innovations. You can see the shock of red just below the Omega marquee and the model name, and this is the time in GMT, 2 hours and 56 GMT, that the original Apollo 11 capsule landed on the moon. Now you see on the case back an elaborated and enlarged version of the silver medallion inset at 9 o'clock on the dial. Now I'm going to move the hands out of the way so you can enjoy the vista a little bit more completely. But in each case, the medallion itself as well as the case back, you see the image of the Earth in the background, the Apollo 11 mission name across the top of the medallion, and the eagle landing on the lunar surface, symbolizing the lunar module and its 3 astronauts. The watch is, for all intents and purposes, a collectible, despite the fact that 969 were made. These Omega limited editions tend to be built so that Omega just falls short of satisfying the actual market, and whenever we have these, the 30th anniversary, the 40th anniversary, Silver Snoopy, they always seem to go quickly because Omega has a great built-in collector base for the Moonwatches. Now this one manages to maintain all the virtues of the classic Moonwatch while introducing some innovations that allow you to say, well, mine's not exactly box stock. There are a lot of Moonwatches in circulation, ranging from the true vintage to the latest of late models, so it's nice to have one that has some distinctions that set it apart from the crowd. Now internally, it is the classic LaMagna-based caliber 1861, 18 joules. It operates at a stately 21,600 vibrations per hour manual wind. It does have a 48-hour power reserve. It is the same movement that's been certified through the shuttle program and into the era of the International Space Station. You can own a classic Moonwatch in every respect, again, with just a few distinctions to set it apart from the Scrum and a few nods to the vast heritage of Omega's classic astronaut watch. You can see this Omega Speedmaster Professional Apollo 11 40th Anniversary Moonwatch on our website, watchyouwant.com.